So, I've already filled in my brows with the Glossier Brow Flick in brown. And now I'm going to go in with my 24-hour brow setter by Benefit, just to keep the brows in place. I have ordered the blonde brow flick just to try it out to see if it would work too, because sometimes I find when I use this it's a bit dark. I mean, it is a true brown, but again, you're coloring the skin in, so it can look a bit too deep. So I'm gonna put on some foundation, my usual Rodent & Fields, which is a Radiant Defense Perfecting Liquid in SPF 30, broad spectrum. Now, I never really cared too much about sunscreen until I got a bit older, and now that I'm 41, it's super important. I can already tell that through many years of over baking in the sun, I have a lot more freckling and sun damage, but what are you gonna do? Now I'm trying to prevent further sun damage, as all of you should. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit on my buffing brush. It's like literally maybe a pea size. I'm going to tap this on. It's slightly darker than my natural skin tone because I have been protecting it from the sun. I mean, as you can see in my shoulders, a lot darker. I have been using sunscreen on the body a lot more, but the sun, I still tan. Sun gets to me still. I've also been using Paula's Choice skincare, like everything from step 1 to 6, which is cleanser, toner, exfoliator, treatment, moisturizer, and SPF. It's a lot of steps, but it's necessary. Although I have been watching this, I believe she's an esthetician, Susan Yara, I believe. She also has another account on Instagram called Mixed Makeup, and she's saying toner isn't necessary because basically if you double cleanse, then there's no reason to use a toner, because a toner is used to prep the skin before you apply your, the rest of your skincare routine and makeup. Anyway, you should check her out. She's really informative. Like every time I watch any of her YouTube videos, I'm always learning new things, and yeah, it's awesome. Okay, I think I buffed this to death. I have my camera flipped on this side, that's why I'm looking to the right here, just to see what I'm looking at. Looks pretty good. I am peeling a little bit. I also dermaplaned my face for the second time in my life. It takes away like the dead skin cells and any facial hair, so it's nice and smooth right now. Yeah. Anyway, the exfoliation process is not that pretty, but once you do get it all figured out and your skin has adapted to you exfoliating more than, once or twice a week. I still use the Neostrata Renewal Peel, and it definitely keeps the dead skin cells like totally off. But I like trying new products, and Paula's Choice is a lot cheaper price point, and I'm in the mode of trying new things these days. So my favorite product of the Paula's Choice haul that I got a couple weeks ago is definitely the BHA exfoliant. It's very liquidy, like water, but there is a grain to it. But it definitely, like, you notice it within a few minutes of it working its magic, like getting rid of all the dead skin cells and all that. So I would definitely recommend that. I really love the Youth something SPF 50. It's amazing, and it gives like a glowy finish to the skin. They also have like a mattifying SPF, but I think it's only an SPF of 30. So anyways, those are my recommendations. Highly recommend it. It took me months before I actually took the plunge and bought it, but the whole line is very good. So before that, I also used the Banana Bright Face Primer. It has like the vitamin C and banana powder inspired pigments that help to brighten and again give you that glowy finish. So from here I'm gonna go on to, I usually do concealer, but I find that I have so much fallout after my eyeshadow, so I'm gonna do some eye makeup now, and I figured I'd do something pretty neutral. This is by MAC. I use it a lot in various makeups. So first, always use a primer on your eyelid. My eyelids are pretty oily, so if I don't prime them, then anything that I put on there, eyeshadow, whatever, it does not last. It creases like crazy. So I'm using like a discontinued product from MAC. But use anyone close to your skin tone, or depending on if you want like really, you know, if you want your eyeshadows to really stand out in terms of color, like say you're doing peach or whatever, or pink or blue, and you want it to really stand out, then you would want to use like a much lighter one, sort of like Soft Ochre from MAC. That's nice, bright yet pale yellow eye primer. And sometimes I'll put a little bit, whatever's left, under the eye too, because it tends to crease quite a bit. Looking good. I'm gonna put a little bit of lip conditioner on. This is by MAC. Lots of vitamin E. Give it a few minutes and it'll really soak into your skin and plump them up. Okay, so we're gonna go in with eyeshadow. I am gonna use flat paddle brush. Any flat paddle brush will do. And God, I always forget the name. Uninterrupted comes in a little eyeshadow palette that you can purchase at a pro store. So I'm gonna put this all over my lid because I feel like I'm gonna do like a peachy lip for the summertime. So I'm just packing this on like so. Easy peasy. Same with the other eye. Because I have that base down, it's really like almost like Velcro. So the eyeshadow will really stick to the skin. And sometimes with the paints, you gotta work fast because they set so easily that it may not stick once it's already set. So work fast and efficiently as much as possible. I'm gonna go in with a round fluffy brush and still dip back into my Uninterrupted and blend all over. I mean, this is just a really, it's like a pukey brownie tone, but it just works for everybody. And then I'm gonna look up and lightly dust underneath to bring out the shape of the eye. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, but it's like the easiest day smoky eye ever. And then to make the lash line stand out more, I would definitely use like a black liner or a deep brown liner. So now I'm gonna go in with Graph Black. If you can recommend any waterproof eyeliner to go on the waterline, please do. Because I'm all out now. Shoot. Okay, well, I'm gonna scrape it into my waterline, like so. You can go by feel. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Gotta get a new one. I think I'll use brown border. It's like a deep brown. These are, I would say, water resistant. So they take a minute or two to set. And I sort of lift it up, the same sort of curvature as the lashes. And what I'll do is I'll use like a pencil brush to sort of buff it into the lashes, because then it makes it look a bit thicker. And I raise my eyebrows so it sort of lifts that eye up, so I can actually get right in there. Ooh. I always do that. I always poke my eye out. That looks pretty good as I put my eyebrows down. Huh. I never like to use hooded. I feel like hooded is just, and I've said this before in a video before, but they're flat. I'm just gonna call them sort of a flat lid. Hooded, they're not awnings, okay? They're not. They're just not. And people keep using that word. Maybe I associate it with a negative connotation, but I'm just gonna call them flat or Asian eyes, whatever. Okay, so from here, I can put some mascara on. Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with some concealer. And you know what? I'm gonna mix it up a bit and use some Glossier. This is the Stretch Concealer in G8. And I'm going to use this Real Techniques brush, medium shadow brush, but I'm going to use it for concealer. And it's very pigmented, like I was quite surprised, like look at that. And I'm just like tapping it. So that's all I'm going to do is tap, tap, tap. And use less pressure to blend it out. I have a nice friend right here that I will try to cover. I'm trying out other foundations too. I was talking to Tiana, a friend of mine, and was asking her, like, what's your favorite foundation? And she mentioned NARS, the Longwear one, and so I ordered that, and we'll see how that works for me. Because my favorite full cov is C40 Full Coverage by MAC. And occasionally I'll use this Rodin & Fields if I want something more sheer. Oh, very nice. Glowy. Oh. And as you can see, the lips are definitely plumping up because of that lip conditioner. It's the best. Like, and you don't need much. You can use it like as a gloss on the face too if you want like certain points to stand out more with sheen. Especially like 4 o'clock p.m. onwards, the sun is lower. Oh, your skin will look amazing. Just a little trick. Go out later in the day, you'll look better. And your skin has settled, you know, all the liquid in the face it'll drain out because of gravity, right? Because you're sleeping and you get puffy. I'm rambling. Okay. Now, from there, I'm going to add my medium dark blot powder just to set it in place. Around the nose especially. Does not look cute when it's super shiny. Periphery of the face looks good when it's shiny. Anything close to the mouth and nose, not so much. I mean, you can put a bit of shine here, tip of the nose, here, here, here. Maybe even put it on the chin, but I just end up looking oily, not dewy. Okay, so then from here, I'm gonna pick a cheek color. Let's see. We're trying to go for a peachy lip, so I think I'll go for sort of a peachy cheek. So we'll just tap and a little tap of this guy. This is probably going to go on pretty strong, so I'm going to Just tap it almost like in the contour and then buff it up. So 1, 2, 3, and tap once, because it is a strong color, as you can see. Look at that. I just tapped it once. Whew. And then just buff it out. I'll probably use like my mineral powder to just soften it a bit, because it's quite strong, but I love the color. Oranges, peaches in the summer, necessary, because they're so beautiful. Golds, bronzes. Okay, I'm added a little bit more right on the apple. And I'm finding I don't use as much shimmer on the face because it just settles in wrinkles now. That's okay. If it looks dewy or moist, that's different. That'll look good on more mature skin types. So again, like I said, Peaches from MAC. I hope it still exists. Please let me know if it doesn't. We'll do just as well with the Devil underneath. And I find tapping always is a great way to blend and to spread out the product, because if you keep swiping back and forth, you could be taking off the foundation, and it's a gentler way of blending. Lightly across the nose, maybe a bit on the chin, but not much. That looks good. Oop. I hope they still have Ravishing. Ravishing is a really pretty color, and it's like that color. And I'm gonna dip it with my ring finger and just blend it in. Oh yeah. And this one again was called Ravishing. I hope it still exists, but any peachy color will do. This is sort of like a milky peachy tone, orange. Goes great with a tan. And all I have underneath is the lip conditioner, so it really looks plump and natural. You could use a liner, but I feel like this look, it's meant to be effortless, and I took way too much. But you could also use this if you don't want to use a powder product. If you're super dry, you could always tap this on your cheeks and use it as a cheek color. This will do. And you can always add a gloss, but I feel like the lip conditioner has already given it that sort of satiny, dewy, luscious look. Anyways, that is it for this look. Oh yeah, Fix Plus or your Tatcha Dewy Mist, whatever it's called, you could use. This just sort of settles any powderiness, if there was any. Oh, I didn't use my mineral powder. Don't know if I really need it, but we'll out of it. I use medium dark shade. So again, with that brush, oh no, well, dewy. But the great thing about mineral powder is, because I'm tapping it on, it's really not going to make a difference. And just sort of ties everything together. Nice. Here, let's take the hair down. I only put a bit of a wave to it. that's it. Hope you liked it. Hope you like this look, and if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for my next look, let me know. Thanks for watching.